about the Department for International Trade. If you went back just 2 years, it would be previously known as UK Trade and Investment. And our role across many sectors is to talk about what the UK can offer to an inward investment company into the UK or a company in the UK that wants to export out. The UK government have been very pleased with automotive in the UK. We've risen from 1 million cars to 1.7 million cars in the last 7 years. That is the fastest growth across Europe. However, our supply chain has been lacking over the last few years. So in 2013, the government formed our team. We're a part industry, part civil service team. We're a 50-50 hybrid team. I myself come from a lifetime at General Motors. And our job is to travel the world, talk to companies, go to their HQs, and tell them why they should come to the UK and invest in the UK. This is mainly regarding the supply chain. So we're talking about the basics like wheels and tyres and steel and glass. We've seen huge investment since we've been formed. Over 30,000 jobs have been created, and we've seen investment of over £2.5 billion. We've also seen 40 new supply chain factories built across the UK. But the future. More is going to happen in the next 10 years in automotive than it has happened in the last 100 years of automotive, and we've got to be ready for it. So we're talking about electric, we're talking about connected and autonomous vehicles. Let me talk about electric first. Electric. We lead the way in the 28 countries of Europe on electric cars. The UK actually makes the most. We make 20% of all manufacturing of electric cars across Europe. We also, as a public in the UK, we like the electric car. We buy a lot of them. We, together with one other countries, we actually buy the most electric cars. We therefore have the technology in the UK to bring forward new ideas, but we also have a market in the UK. When you turn to connected and autonomous vehicles, that is a massive future, and the UK is very much leading the way. And when you come here today to the Advanced Engineering Show, you see all those technologies. You see the major companies and what they can offer, but you also see a lot of the small companies that are playing a major part in connected and autonomous cars. 2 major OEMs have chosen London to do their autonomous testing. That is Volvo and Nissan. Many other OEMs are doing their testing, but it is good to see them coming to the UK. But why do they come to the UK? They come to the UK because the technology is here. Let me look at exporting, and let me tell you a little bit about what the Department for International Trade are doing to help companies. Firstly, our industry has done very, very well, and therefore a number of the companies have sat back and just supplied the UK car manufacturers. They have not looked at doing so much exporting. But if you look at the statistics of exporting, if you export, you are 7 times stronger if you go into a recession. So there are many good reasons for export. So what can we do in automotive to help an exporter? Firstly, we're making contact with companies across the UK, companies that are only 10 to 20 people in size, all the way up to companies that are 1,000 people. And we're going and telling them the benefits of exporting and what we can do. Number one, we have international trade advisors that can go into a company and explain to them the tax credits and the help the government can give to an exporter. Number two, we can talk to them about the type of markets they'd like to supply. So they might say, we'd like to supply France and Spain. Via our embassies, we have DIT teams there who can make contact with the OEMs in those countries, or via our team, because we know them, and we will set up opportunities for them to have meetings. The third thing is export missions. We, together with the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders and other organisations, arrange what we call export missions. We take a group of companies, perhaps up to 10 companies, to various countries and help them win exports. Let me give you an example. We took a group of companies to Mexico. Involved in one of those was Alexander Dennis. Alexander Dennis make buses. And since that mission and the opportunities we gave them for meetings, they've now won a £30 million export contract into Mexico.